Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through my AFL fantasy team reveal for round 15, in which I'll go through all my trades, my thoughts for the next couple of weeks, and how I'm sort of planning ahead and what mistakes I'm trying to, not make. This is recorded after I did record the marathon mistakes video that is in editing stage at the moment. So hopefully it comes out to you guys around that Wednesday or Thursday, and I'll try and implement and not make the same mistakes that a lot of people do make, myself included. And I think this is one of the weeks, and we're seeing it, and I did show it in the video itself, that there are some mistakes that some people are making already, and there are some backup plans that I have in place in case some things at the selection table don't go our way. That being more the substitutes, they could easily not go our way with a couple of the guys that I'm bringing in being subs rather than on field. So hopefully they aren't, but we'll wait and see with tonight's game with Logan Evans. We have Caden Cleary, Tholstrop and Brown that we're monitoring at the moment. I don't think there's anyone else monitoring, as Payne didn't get selected to debut. But anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So, as you can see here, I think, he's my D1 at the moment, Jordan Clark. I know the tag from Sydney's coming in a couple of weeks' time, round 16, so that's a couple of weeks, and so I'm a little bit worried about that. I know Lockie Whitfield has the tag incoming this week, which sucks, but it's sort of one thing I said in the mistakes video, that Lockie Whitfield is one that you really need to look at the fixture for, and he's one that I don't know if one of the mistakes was a fixture based one. That would probably be an individual video itself. But Lockie Whitfield is an up and down type of character. I think I talked about him with reference to the opening round. And learnings from last that carry over and don't carry over, etc. But yeah, Lockie Whitfield, he's done really well the last couple of weeks. I expect him to get clamped down by Sydney. So yeah, I don't expect him to go much more than a 60 or 70. He could easily pop off and do well, but because he's broken through, I think, some tags before. But I think this was an attempted tag, and he got 28 touches still, so it wasn't necessarily the greatest tag. But it's Sydney, it's James Jordan. He's one of the better taggers in the game, and I think Lockie Whitfield is the one that you should be tagging. No Cornelia, which will make it interesting as well. I think there could be, I think there will legitimately be 4 tags on in this game. I think Lockie Whitfield will get tagged. I think also Tom Green will get tagged by James Rowbottom. I think you'll see Isaac Heaney potentially get tagged, and as well as a Chad Warner or an Errol Gordon get tagged by Bedford. I think Callan Ward, I think he's lined up in the centre. If he is lined up in the centre, then I believe he will be the tagger for GWS. Let me just double check that for you guys. You have Callan Ward on the bench. You have Peatling as well on the interchange bench. So he's back again, but he's like in and out, in and out. Swans could almost go a double tag and put Caden Cleary also on the tag on Lockie Ash. I don't know what exact role Caden's going to play. It looks to me that it's basically between him and Braden for the sub. I personally would much rather Caden Cleary play, given that, or if he is sub, be actual sub, and then don't bother playing him for the rest of the year, just so that he doesn't get too much. As I would like to have him as a prospect next year, as I legitimately think he is he can play that role that the Taylor Adams is playing this year, and do that next year, and then that'll slowly translate into him being a full-time midfielder, because he is one of the better midfielders we have in the twos already. He's just gone off in the twos, so that's why I've currently got him selected, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is sadly sub. So if he is sub, then we are going to be moving down into this this bracket here with the Melbourne, and looking at their guys. They have Keenan Brown and Colton Tholstrop in, and this is a direct reaction to the Petrarca being out injured. I think one of these two will be sub, as you see Daniel Turner, Tom McDonald and Jake Barry. I don't think any of those guys will be sub, so it's between these two, and whichever one it is the guy that I'll probably go with, given that I expect Logan, where is he? I expect Logan Evans to start. I don't expect him to be sub, and there's no one really that I need to worry about in this first game either. And I don't think we have anyone new in any of the other games. You have Hugh Davies, that is new as well. So if all hits the pan and we get nothing, Hugh Davies could be another guy that we'd look at. I don't know what is exact. I need to look up his what's his height, because I believe he might be a sort of medium defender, and those medium defenders don't necessarily score the greatest. Hugh is a key defender, yeah. Josh Draper 2.0 basically is what I'm seeing here. Omitted for a Hugh Davies. They still haven't announced their side as well, but he is on field, which is a good sign. And also for those people wanting, where is he? For those people wanting Warner, I'd be very, very, because you got Hugh, Chapman's going to play, Davies is going to play, I think Emmett will play, and then you got Erasmus, Voss, and Wagner. I think another guy has to come out, I want to say. Yeah, I think another guy has to come out if you got Erasmus, Voss, and Wagner there. You got O'Meara, Sturt won't be dropped, Aish won't be dropped, so that's already 3. And then you got, I just don't see him playing, or if he is playing, I think Warner could easily be the sub, but we'll have to wait and see on that. I've been wrong on these guys quite a lot. And then Gold Coast as well, you do have Alex Sexton in here. But you see here, with they've got their 6 defenders here. Joel Jeffrey survived like we thought he would. Hewlin survived as well. They have 1, 2. They don't really have a third tall, because Will Powell I don't think is the tallest. And Bodie Hewlin is sort of a medium defender. Will Powell height, I don't think he's that tall, is he? 185, that's not key defender height. And Bodie Hewlin they will not use as a key, surely. Bodie Hewlin's 188, so I'd be very doubtful if they use him as a key. And you look at this and you go, Charlie Ballard's not going to be dropped here, right? Charlie Ballard, I'm pretty sure, is key position height as well. He's, how tall is he? He's 196. That's their 7th defender. Do they really need an 8th defender? Then you start going through, you go, they'll probably use Swallow, they'll probably use Graham, they'll use Ballard here, and I think they'll use Davies as well. So that's already 4. There's a massive chance for Brandon Ellis. So I think there is a worry about the likes of Alex Sexton being dropped. So for all of those guys. But anyway, let me just go back to my team anyway, because I'm at a massive tangent about the rookies, I guess, to a certain degree. And that sort of rules out my reasoning behind not going for Alex Sexton. I think another thing as well, when we just swip down to our trades here, another thing that I sort of did consider at this, given that you'll see here 898, and there was an ability to get rid of Joel Frazier as well for an extra sort of 62k, which would give me about 180k more than this. And you think about that, that's so that would give me 200 plus 231 plus 180 plus 898. I believe is 1,000. Let me just double check that. 231 plus 180 plus 898 gives me 1509. And you think about that for trades. I think it's right. No, it would give me more than that. It would give me plus another 10. So yeah, like 1520 in trades. I could probably get a 200k rookie. There's plenty of them out there. So it give me roughly 1.32 million for if I wanted to go too cheapy, guys. But that is the major mistake that I keep on seeing happen, and it sort of derailed my season. And I actually really like Merritt's run now, and he's ultra valued. Like, that is a really good run here, a really good run here as well. With Geelong. Then he's got Collingwood, Melbourne, that's an iffy run. Adelaide will be season over. St Kilda probably season over by then. Fremantle, we'll see where they land. Gold Coast could be season over by then. And then Sydney and Brisbane, we'll see how Brisbane go in the next couple of weeks, because they are firing at the moment. That could easily be a do or die game for both sides. That could be whoever wins that makes the 8 type of scenario. But I really like Zach Merritt's run. I know that he is sort of fading in and out of the, at times, of the CBAs. But it looks really good for him. If we go over here to Essendon. If we look here, Zach Merritt, he's had 100% CBAs against Carlton. Massive effort. But you see here, 60% here, 69, 79. So we did have a period where it looked iffy. And then he played West Coast, and when you go against West Coast is the main contributor here. He went 110 against West Coast with 3 goals, and he didn't look necessarily the greatest in that game, I don't believe, but I think he spent a lot of time off the ball a little bit, even though it says 88% CBAs. But yeah, I think he's just a really consistent scorer and has had 2 poor games. But aside from that, he's really good. And those 2 poor games allowed him to really drop in value. And yeah, I think he's just one that can come home pretty strong for the back half of this year. I think there's 1, 2, 3. I think there's probably 4 or 5 positive matchups in this. Like positive matchups. If we go to DFS as well, I think Essendon might be one of the better midfields for season-long DVP matchups. If we go here, Essendon are 3rd best. I don't really want to pick a North guy at the moment because LDU almost did an injury. George Wardlaw's too young and sort of would be that iffy type of selection. Hawthorn, I don't like any of their mids to score large. I know a lot of people will jump on Will Day, but I just don't think he's a 110 scorer in itself. And you see here with these matchups here, Sydney's a really bad matchup for inside mids. He probably cops the tag against Sydney. What did he do earlier on in the year against Sydney? He did a 1-2-2 with the tag. So he's one that can also evade the tag relatively well, which is a good thing. And I think that is partially just due to his non-disposal work here. You got 12, 9, 7, 7, 7, 7, 12, 7, 10, 11, 9, 8, and 13. And we said the magical barrier for a lot of it is averaging 8 marks and tackles. And he did that in pretty much most games here. There was a stretch here where he went 7s, but within one of that is pretty good, considering he's also a leather poisoning type of player at the times as well. So I think that is a really good reason why to get Merritt in. I don't know if I'll be able to grab him in Supercoach, but in Fantasy, yes, he's definitely one that I'm looking at bringing in. And then you've got here nothing else really, and he is actually going to be my captain. I know some people are like, why are you going Brody Grundy? And I think the reason is, and I discussed this a little bit in the comment section, well, in the live chat on the Centre Bounce show last night with team sheets, is defense first position. If we go here, last night Super Day, I added Supercoach as well. This will be interesting. Yeah, GW. Wow. Yeah. Okay. That will definitely help a little bit. But if we go here, you'll see GWS minus 22, and you're thinking, why? That is like the worst matchup currently in the game, I think. Yeah, I think that is possibly the worst matchup in the game. And you're probably thinking that is so dumb to do that. But look at the plays he played. He played Ivan Soldo. He played Toby Conway, who Toby Conway might have legitimately been subbed out of this game. I need to just double check that. Yeah, he was subbed out of that game as well at 3/4 time, playing 15% less time on ground. His points per minute were actually up on his season average. So he was going above par. So that's already a minus. Let me duplication and get this back down. So he was already there. You had a stinker from Ivan Soldo, and then Tim English here. If we go to Tim English against GWS, he put up one of his lowest scores ever. His lowest score of he just put up a really low score, and I don't think that was necessarily too bad, to be honest. Let's actually check the matchup, because I don't know if he might have did he have Rory Lobb there as well, which caused that? Briggs, Riccardi, you had Sam Darcy there, so no, it actually wasn't any of that. And what about his heat maps? Is there anything to do with his heat maps there that we can suggest with Tim English? Let's just go back to Tim English here for a second, and just to show you why I think it was. If we look at Tim English, where is it here? You can see, let's just see, what was his ruck contest time? 77%, that's roughly on par with what he's doing this year, isn't it? Ruck contest 75%, so yeah, it was on par, but you can have off games, so I'm not too worried about it. And Brody Grundy did go a 134 against Kieran Briggs, in round 7, 8, he went 134, as you can see here. It was very, very similar to conditions to what we're going to get on the weekend, I suspect as well. The weather is iffy for chance of rain. There's like 40% in the morning and stuff like that. I don't know if it's extended out to around about that 4 p.m. time at the moment. Last time I checked was earlier in the morning. But I can tell you that, yeah, in Sydney at least, but not necessarily Homebush, it does sort of stop raining at around about that midday time. Tomorrow in Homebush, it's around 8 a.m. that it stops raining, but it's still cloudy and about 15, 16 degrees as a high for the day. So I think that will really almost favour Brodie Grundy if there's more and more contests. Ruck contests, as it seems like he is more of a hit-out ruckman compared to Briggs. Briggs, if you look at his stats here from that game against Sydney, you'll see most of his games are 20 to 30 hit-outs, 23 against the Swans, 44 in these couple games here. I think there was a couple of waterlogged games, so we just had a lot of it. Whereas here you can see in most of the matchups, Brodie Grundy is winning the hit-out rate, and you can go to Wheelo and it will probably suggest that Brodie Grundy's got a better hit-out percentage over Briggs. So that's pretty much the side. If I was to... So Caden Cleary could potentially become Brown, and if that is the case, I don't know if Brown has the... I think he's got the dual position. Brown, yeah, dual position. Tholstrup, I don't think, has the dual position as well. Tholstrup has the forward status, so if it's Tholstrup, then just Fraser moves into this. It will just go something like that, etc. And you will see Tholstrup move in there, and Caden Cleary becomes Tholstrup. That becomes F6, and etc. So that pretty much is the video there going through the side. There wasn't much about the actual side itself. The plans in the future are I'm looking at Rankin potentially. Out of like a Tom Powell type maneuver. Rankin here, you look at Rankin, 741k at the moment, which is actually really, really cheap. I really like the look of this post-buy. I know he only scored 86 against the Swans on 73% TOG. I think he's building up to it. I think a bye week's going to help him, and I think he's one that you can legitimately go for out of the bye. It will be a slight risk, but I do think he will be a guy out of the bye that I really like, given his performances here against Brisbane and Collingwood, and I think he's got a pretty let's just see, it's an all run. It is a tough-ish run, but it should be a scoreable run for him. If I just look at DVD, here we go. Let me just go out of this quickly for 1 second, and this will be just 2 minutes to do this, and we'll check the general forwards first, just for Adelaide. Minus 1.99, that's not good. That's probably almost worst in the comp. Third worst. Inside mids are probably going to be a negative. Yep, second worst in the comp for inside mids. So, but the thing is, it's a minus 1.88. But we're talking about Rankin, who, if all intents and purposes, and I'll go to the stats center to show what I mean by this. If we go to positions forwards, even though he's got a bad run, if we look at the averages for the forwards, 1, 2, 3, Sexton's not going to play. So he's probably about the 5th or so forward out of all of these. And then you got Baker, who is so hit or miss, it's not even funny. Caldwell, whose position could change on the daily almost. So it's basically between Rankin. I already have more as well. If you look at last 3 here, you sort of get almost a better picture as well. You have Joe Danaher, but he's a key position player, could easily stuff it up. Dane Zorko, another one that I did look at as well. He could be another upgrade as well out of Sharp or out of Powell. So I'm sort of looking at those guys and thinking, how can I upgrade out of you? I have 118k. I'm probably going to have Joel Frazier to upgrade out of you, which is another probable 200 or so K, give or take, maybe 180k. So that is around about 290k. So that would be probably, if I moved on Sharp, maybe another... I would have enough to get to like a... I could probably get to Zorko from... or someone else from Sharp. I could also get like a Sarong, and there's plenty of other guys, like even a Walsh from that point as well. So there's about 2 or 3 guys that I'm looking at in the next week in that of Walsh, potentially, but probably not. Zorko, I'm looking at Sarong as well. I'm looking at Jordan Dawson because he can pilot on when needed as well. I'm also looking at Dunkley, who is very, very cheap. If I can get out of Powell for Dunkley, that would be a very good position, I would say. As if you just go here and you look at it, I would happily probably play Let's look at it here. Who do I have? Nick Dacos goes into the back line there. That completes that. This set here has Crisp and Bontempelli here and here effectively, and move Powell back down there. So I would move maybe Jeremy Sharp on, or maybe even a Powell on, and just play almost a rookie there in Billy Dowling potentially at that point. Or yeah, there's so many different options that I have available to me. Potentially move on a Sharp but yeah, I'm looking at sort of that mid forwards guy for the next little for round 16. Either a forward in Rankin or Zorko, if I can get there. Looks doubtful for Zorko. Definitely for Rankin looks a lot easier. Rankin would look like I could bank another sort of 200k and then really attack a Sharp up to someone else after that. But yeah, I think I'm doing pretty well. I am needing to work towards my primo for my 23rd primo, which I hopefully will be able to get on Fantasy. Supercoach, a lot easier to get that 23rd primo. I pretty much already have that primo lined up. I just need to think, am I wanting to go down to 3 or 2 trades basically in Supercoach for the rest of the year. But anyway, that pretty much is the video there, and I guess I will see you guys in the Supercoach update soon. Bye guys.